So getting YouTube videos done has been kind of complicated lately, specifically because I just had my second child, and so I'm supporting with doing a bunch of diaper changes, all the cooking, and a bunch of other things here at the house. As a result, I haven't posted too much. However, every now and again I get a little bit of free time to myself and I can knock out a project or two. So here's a very simple one that I did. I've been having a bunch of problems with the spark plug wires that I did on my Tacoma recently. I got some Denso wires off Rock Auto, some spark plugs, and swapped that all out, and the wires just don't hold very well at the distributor. The little clips that they use are very poor design, very flimsy, so sometimes one will pop out, I'll get a misfire. It really sucks to deal with, so I just went ahead and replaced them with a set of NGK wires, which just have a much better design clip, and the wire itself is actually nicer, to be honest with you. So it's a really quick procedure to do and makes a big difference in your truck if you have an older truck with a distributor, or even the coil packs, the earlier coil packs that still had wires, right, not coil on plugs like the 01 to 04 trucks had. So very simple process if you've never done it before. It's pretty much one of those beginner car maintenance things that anyone can learn how to do. So check out the video and see how it's done. Alright, so today's job is fairly simple. I don't like the fit of these supposedly Denso wires. They're supposed to be OEM equivalent, as I mentioned, but I really don't think they are. The OEMs had a much better retaining mechanism. This is some cheap plastic thing that bends and just lets these things pop out, so you're constantly getting misfires. I also just don't like the way that these wires route. In general, they're a little bit thinner and uglier. Had the NGKs for a long time. They're a little chunkier, a little nicer looking, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and put these. It's also cool that they're numbered and they have a quality retainer on them. So the first thing you need to understand in order to do this job is your firing order. Now, you could remove one spark plug wire at a time, replacing it with a new one. That way you don't have to worry about thinking about the order. However, if you know your Tacoma's firing order, right, it's 1, 3, 4, 2. This rotates counterclockwise inside of here, so it doesn't rotate toward the front, it rotates towards the back, right? So knowing that, right, this is number 1, this is number 3, underneath it is number 4, and following that order, bottom front is number 2, right? You could also think about it as 1 and 2 are in the front, top to bottom, 3 and 4 are in the back, top to bottom. Either way, it's easy enough to remember. So what I like to do is I just unplug all of them and change it out. I used to do it one by one, but once I understood that simple concept, I just popped them out. So you kind of stick your fingernail up under, release the tab, and yank these things out. They're all out there. I completely detest the way that I had to route these because they're so floppy they would touch the exhaust manifold if I didn't run them over the intake, so I ended up with this ugly layout. Let's yank these junkers out. You should feel them pop sometimes, especially when they're poorly built like these are. You'll have the head, this part, boot kind of separating from the body, and it'll make it harder, but you just tug on the wire and you're good. Alright, so I'll pop my new cables in order, right? And route them a little bit differently. So pop number 1 in. These new ones are very nice because they're also numbered. They're also thicker and better looking, in my opinion. I really detest the location of this stupid bracket because it's kind of in the way. Alright, that's a nice. Make sure they pop down firmly, right, in our ceiling. This one can route under, unlike the others, because they're not floppy and they're not going to touch my exhaust manifold. So I can route them under. It's a Pretty simple job. Bang, do that. Now looking at our distributor, as I said before, we're gonna start with number 1 is here, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there. So just for the sake of convenience, right, and comfort in installing it, we'll start with number 4. You're gonna want this little lower tab to align to the bottom, right? It can only go in via this sort of like keyway here, so it has to be vertical like that. So I'll pop number 4 in first. You want to hear a definitive like click when you do this. Make sure that it's actually properly engaged. All right, so that's number 4 in. Kind of put number 3. All right, then we'll do number 2. Nice, and there goes number 1. Make sure you align this well, and there you have it. You can push up on the little tabs to make sure that you're positively engaged. There you go. Now my spark plug wires are installed, so let's go ahead and turn the truck on and see how she runs. And there you have it. The new spark plug wires are in and the truck is running. Turns on right away. So there you have it. That's a simple spark plug wire swap on a first gen Tacoma that has a distributor. So definitely the earlier trucks. The later trucks with the coil packs would have a very similar kind of setup. The only difference is if you have an 01, 04 truck, obviously you don't have spark plug wires because you have coil on plugs. But for the earlier guys, that's basically the process that you're going to go through in order to update those wires. It's not super complicated. It's probably about the most beginner entry level kind of working on a car task that you can take on. Doesn't really require much complexity. As you saw, I didn't even use any tools. You do it all by hand. So it was a quick and dirty kind of change that I wanted to just make a simple video on. Now, moving forward this year, I definitely plan to switch up the way that I'm doing these videos. I'm gonna get a different camera, and as much as I love this microphone up here, it's very good at filtering out ambient noise and just, you know, like kind of like that tinnitus-iness that some of these other mics pick up. But it's very, very potent in a directional sense, and you can hear me breathing, and that's crazy because I can't hear me breathing most of the time, right? Unless it's very hot outside, so sometimes I'm going to be breathing more strongly, but not to the degree that it sounds on the camera. Like if you were standing there next to me, you wouldn't hear it so clearly. So some of that and like the pops and stuff, it kind of bothers me. So I'll be swapping that around, and I think I'm gonna switch my format up a little bit just to make these things easier to edit and more fun to watch, really. Just improve the quality all the way around. So that's definitely going to be going down. I actually have a couple videos on the truck doing some other mods that I recorded, and I'm not really happy with them, so I don't think I'm going to end up posting them. If anything, I'll post video explaining what I did, but in the newer, better format, and hopefully by then with the better equipment. So if you guys are, you know, down to see that process, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post up another one. We're definitely going to keep doing a whole bunch of car mods and improving the quality of the content. And I've got something really interesting coming with my upholstery stuff, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you guys for watching.